Yeah, I'll react to that, sure. Hey guys, preemptive like Love in London. Original link to the video, top of the description. My name's Connor if you're new. Hope everyone's doing well. Let's go. How to piss off a Londoner. I've seen a lot of videos like this, not just from Love in London, but from other channels too, of like what not to do in other places, other countries. And it seems like half of the tips on these types of videos are just common sense. And don't be rude or an idiot, and be respectful. But I still love the videos. There's still a lot of good tips I wouldn't have known if they didn't tell me. So let's get started.
Hello from London. Now listen, tourists, we love you, we really do, but we have developed some unwritten rules in this city that help to keep us all moving fast and going in the right direction. And if you don't know about these unwritten rules, then you might end up pissing off some of the Londoners here. But the good news is, once you know them, then you're good to go. You'll get along with everyone and have an amazing trip in this city. So we're gonna talk you through the things you should know so you don't piss off any Londoners.
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Okay. Form a line.
Okay, let's talk about the tube. Now, us Londoners use the tube day in and day out, and in this city, we love efficiency. We have places to go.
Oh my God, people are actually going through instead of jumping over. I'm so used to New York.
Out, and in this city, we love efficiency. We have places to go and people to see. So we've kind of created some unwritten rules in this city to make sure everyone's moving as quickly as we can. So the first thing that you should know is that when you go into a tube station and you're getting up to the ticket barriers where you're gonna pay, you wanna have your payment method ready to go for when it's your turn. Londoners tell me all the time how annoyed they get when they're behind somebody going up to the barriers, and then as soon as it's their turn, they're like start going around trying to find their phone or their Oyster card. Or
I feel like Oyster card. I feel like if it was an old person, old man or lady, then I would let it pass. But I mean, if you're in a conversation in the line and you're like, oh, okay. Oh God. If I did do that, I feel like I would step out of line and then find it, and then go in the back of the line and then get up to it.
Or whatever, and it holds everybody up behind them. Honestly, like the more efficient I glide through that day, it just like makes me happier. So definitely make sure you do that as well. Another big one with Londoners is what you do on an escalator. So the rule of thumb here is that if you do not want to walk down the escalator.
Let me guess. You guys step to the...
You want to stand, then you stand on the right. So remember that, stand on the right.
I thought because you drive on the other side of the road.
And then if you do want...
This is a pet peeve of mine. Again, I am socially anxious in 90% of scenarios. The other 10%, I'm the opposite. When it comes... This is one of those instances.
To walk down, then you're going to go on the left side and you're going to walk and make sure you're doing it at a good pace, because we like to glide down those escalators. If you don't, you'll definitely get someone coming up behind you very quickly and being like, excuse me, and you'll need to shuffle.
That's me. I will do that. All right.
To the side. One that you will find is a rule around the world, but that we're really committed to in this city, is that if you're waiting to get onto the tube, once the doors open for a carriage, let everybody else get off of the carriage first before you try to shuffle your way onto it. It just makes it easier.
Said,
also, it's kind of rude to just hop on as people are still trying to get off. When you get on the tube, you will see these seats that are labeled priority seats. These are for people who are not able to stand, who might be pregnant, or have some kind of disability and basically just need to be able to sit down.
Guys, a lot of these rules are just if you don't do this stuff on your own, or if you don't do it, if like some of these things I think are just super, I say like too much. I can't freaking help it. Like. A lot of these things, if you don't do them, it just gives off a vibe that you don't care about others around you and you're very self-absorbed. Sometimes people, blank out. I'll just kind of zone out in my own head, right? Maybe you're tired. But I think a lot of these if you don't do it, it just think about others is, I guess, am I being too mean?
When the tube is moving. So try to avoid sitting in those seats. If you do sit in one of those seats, just keep an eye out for anybody that might get on that looks like they need to sit down, or if they have one of these badges on that says they're pregnant or has a hidden disability, or just looks like they need to sit down, and you can offer them your seat. In fact, any seat that you're sitting in, it doesn't have to be a priority one. It's nice to do that if you can. Now, if you have a bag with you, if you can, make sure you put it on your lap. Don't put it on one of the seats next to you so that somebody else can sit there. And if you're standing and you have a backpack on, make sure you take the backpack off and put it between your legs.
Slam into
because
someone.
Otherwise, you will basically be smacking people in the face with your backpack, which is really annoying and uncomfortable. So just keep it between your legs so that everyone can squish in and not be smashing their face into your bag. And finally, when you get onto a carriage, if it's busy, make sure that you don't crowd around the door. Move down into the middle of the carriage more, which means that more people can get on and they don't have to wait for the next train. We just get people moving to where they need to go faster.
By the way, if it's your first time visiting London,
I think everything so far, there's no excuse of not doing it, even if it's your first time. Maybe maybe you don't go on the subway often and you're in a new country. Maybe the one where you wait until you get and it's your turn to start looking for your pass. I think that's the one thing on here so far that I would like have a little understanding for. But everything else just seems to be you shouldn't have to travel anywhere for this stuff to be new to you, you know?
which if you're watching this video, it probably is, we have
Or even if it's new to you, it just should be common sense, I think.
a special freebie for you. It's called our London 101 guide, which has everything you need to know before you come to the city for the first time. And you can get that, again, completely for free by clicking the link down in the description box of the video. Okay, go get that, and then we're gonna get right back into the video.
I love British
Okay,
money.
let's talk
The coins
about
are
money.
awesome.
You'll notice when you get to London that Londoners love efficiency, and that's why you'll often see us paying for things with contactless cards or with Apple Pay or Google Pay, and rarely with cash, even if the place does accept cash. So if you're able to pay with a contactless payment, then definitely go for that, because that means that everyone behind you won't have to queue for as long. But if you only have cash, that's fine too. Also, if you go someplace and you see something listed in pounds,
Hold up.
that's fine too. All behind you won't have to queue for as long. But if you
Oh, she's on a ferry. I was so confused for a second.
only have cash, that's fine too. Also, if you go someplace and you see something listed in pounds, as it will be because we are in England, don't ask the staff what that is in whatever your local currency is. They don't know. And also, currency fluctuates constantly. So that's kind of a weird question to ask somebody in the country that they live in. Just have an app on your phone so you always know what.
Why would you need... I feel like the only reason for you to ask that would it be to see if it's too expensive or... Okay.
What the conversion is. And finally, if you come to London and think it's expensive, don't complain about it to Londoners. We know it's expensive. We live this every single moment of our lives. We walk outside, and for breathing, we are charged £15. So please keep that to yourself. We don't need to talk about it any more than we're already dealing with it.
I swear this video could just be called... It's a great video, but... A lot, and I'm saying a lot of these videos could just be called "What Not to Do in Public," anywhere, not just London.
One thing you should know about us Londoners, we walk fast and we know where we're going. So if you're on the pavement walking in front of us and you suddenly just stop short, you might have one of us bumping into you because we're walking fast.
Oh, I hate that. This is probably the most annoying thing on the list so far. If someone is in even if it's not in a crowded area, and just stop right here instead of just, I need to check something and going right here. There are a few things Guys, I'm just in. I guess I'm in this kind of mood today. Do I sound crazy? I can't. Let's go.
To just stop short at this crazy speed. So if you need to look on Google Maps and figure out where you're going, or you just want to look up or take a picture, that's completely fine. But instead of stopping in the middle of the flow of traffic,
You shouldn't have to be told this. This should be built into you as a newborn baby that I have no sympathy. Okay? I'm done being nice. All right? No. There is no, this is not a tip you need to know. This is the basic level of I have at least an ounce of awareness and care for people other than myself around me. I don't want to hear it. All right, I will die on this hill.
just move to the side closer to a building or near
Maybe I'm being
something
too
that people
intense, I don't know.
aren't going to be walking past anyway, and do it there.
Sorry.
Just
I said I would die on this hill, and then I questioned myself.
near something that people aren't going to be walking past anyway, and do it there just so you don't obstruct that flow of traffic and everyone can get on their way at an insane speed.
I feel like people will learn this at a very young age because of school hallways. You will learn it from school hallways. It's crowded. Don't stop in the little. Go to the lockers.
Being said, if you're also traveling in a group that's like 3 people or more, please
even
do
worse.
not all walk 3 in a line while going down the pavement. Usually that means that it takes up most of the pavement and people can't get around you. They will struggle to get by you if they're coming in the opposite direction. It's just kind of a pain. Try to stick to like 2 and 2, or if it's really narrow, you might just need to kind of like go one behind the other every once in a while. Just don't take up the whole pavement so no one else can get around.
This is the first one where I kind of had to think about. I think it would depend on this. She said don't take up the whole sidewalk, so I guess I agree with her. It would depend on the size of the sidewalk and your pace, I guess.
And listen, I know that you guys
that's
love
beautiful.
up the whole pavement
I love your building so much.
so no one else can get around. And listen,
And here.
I know that you guys love the Beatles and you want to come and see where they shot the iconic album cover here on Abbey Road. But the thing is, by law, if somebody is walking across it, the
Overrated. No, forget it. I said they were overrated in a music compilation video of music over time, and I realized that I liked a lot of their songs. When I say don't kill me. Forget I said it. I love the Beatles. I love them.
But the thing is, by law,
Sorry.
if somebody is walking across it, the cars that are oncoming have to stop. So if a lot of tourists are in the crosswalk trying to take a photo or a video, it ends up creating a huge traffic jam for the locals in the area. And you could end up making somebody late to pick up their kid at one of the local schools. So if you do want to take the photo, just be sure to try to do it when there's no oncoming traffic so you don't make somebody stop and cause a traffic jam.
Am I the Grinch or something? You're trying to do something that might be really important to you. Okay, fair. If it's really important to you, then you should be able to wait on the sidewalk for however long it takes to not cause... Well, I don't know how busy this is. How busy of a road is this? If I would make it quick, you know, if you wait there and there's never an option to do it, maybe do it quickly. But
Area, and you could end up making somebody late to pick up their kid at one of the local schools. So if you do want to take the photo, just be sure to try to do it when there's no oncoming traffic so you don't make somebody stop and cause a traffic jam. There you go. By the way, just to clarify, you can use that crosswalk to actually cross the road and have the cars stop. Just don't stand in it trying to get a photo and hold everybody up for way too long. But you can use it to cross. That's completely fine. You might notice a lot of street performers around London, especially in areas like Covent Garden and around here, which is the South Bank. Now, these street
is that the Shakespeare?
especially in areas
Not Shakespeare. No, yes, Shakespeare.
like Covent Garden and around here, which is
Is this the replica? I think the original one burnt down like hundreds of years ago, right? But this looks like that replica Shakespearean play hall. What's the word? Auditorium?
Is the South Bank. Now, these street performers, they have to audition and also get a permit for them to be able to play or perform wherever you're seeing them. So if you stop and you watch for a bit, or especially if you get involved, please be sure that you leave them a donation. You can either
Wow, did he set it up for card pay? That's genius.
or especially if you get involved, please be sure that you leave them a donation. You can either leave some coins or some paper pounds, or actually most of the performers these days will have a little card machine so you can tap and donate that way.
That's very smart.
Not having cash is not an excuse. But yeah, that's how they make their money, so be sure to leave a donation if you watch. One of the things I find kind of funny and interesting about British culture is how strict they are about their queues or their lines.
I've lightened up on this, like I said with the subway. I used to be, you know, because it makes it sound when you first hear it as if British people don't think other countries form lines for things, which is ridiculous. But the amount of things that you do form lines for, where I wouldn't expect it in other places, has changed my mind. Yes, you guys do seem to love your queues.
Basically, you never ever want to cut into the queue and jump ahead of anyone because people will not be happy. And even though London is filled with foreigners and people from all over the world, we still stick to that like crazy. So if you're in a queue for something here, make sure you do not accidentally jump the line or try to do it because people will not let it happen. If you see houses that you want to take pictures or videos of, please be respectful of the people that live there. For example, everybody always wants to take pictures of the beautiful rainbow houses in Notting Hill, and that's fine. Just be sure to keep your distance so you don't get any pictures of actual residents that live there. And don't do things like going up on the stoop or going to the door because that is very invasive, and I'm sure you wouldn't want somebody to do that to your home. So just be overall respectful of the people that live in these places. Don't criticize.
This could sum up every single travel video, tips for not coming across as a rude tourist, in that one, like, 6-word sentence she said.
Just be overall respectful of the people that live in these places.
Video over. Next. That is it. All right.
Don't criticize our food here in London.
I
First of
don't
all,
like this. I say this all the time. I love British food. All right. Sometimes stereotypes it can become fun to reinforce a stereotype, right? And people like talk it that way, but this is one I don't get. Yeah, British has some bad food some place. What country doesn't? And roast dinner, Yorkshire pudding, which I call popovers, delicious. Fish and chips, one of my favorite meals. Sausage, what is it called? Toad sausage. Toad sausage. Just a lot of amazing food. I know you guys are big on Indian food as well. I'm not a huge fan of Indian food. I know that's not a very common thing. A lot of people love Indian food. I don't dislike it, but I definitely wouldn't usually go out of my way to find Indian cuisine.
A Londoner will tell you how good the food is here, especially because we have world-class international cuisine.
All the meat pies, shepherd's pie.
That you definitely have to try while you're here.
Some of my favorite foods are British style foods, all right? Shepherd's pie, a roast dinner, fish and chips.
But also, you were definitely going to be judged if you come here and you...
What the hell is that? That looks good. I would devour that.
While you're here. But also,
Yorkshire.
you were...
That's not a chicken. Is that meat or bread?
You're definitely going to be judged if you come here and you say you didn't think food was very good, because we're going to know that you just didn't try.
Jellied eels. I can't defend you guys there. I would try it, though. How am I saying I can't defend you if I haven't tried it?
Hard enough to go to some good places, and sorry, but that's on you.
Spotted bean.
Make make sure you're trying good spots. We literally talk about a million, so you have no excuse. Don't complain about the weather to us. We know. Still hot. All right, and now you know it all. You're gonna be golden. And if you want more tips for your trip to London, we have literally hundreds of other videos that you can watch, and you can do so by clicking one of the boxes popping up around me.
It's a good idea. If you guys would like any of the videos that YouTube recommended that thought you would like, click right there. Great channel, great video. Love you all. Hope you guys are all doing well. I hope wasn't too annoying there, that video. Would love any comments. You guys are always great with that. Any answers to questions I had, or sometimes when I don't ask questions, you guys just, I guess, know when I have a confused look on my face, and you answer things that I didn't even ask, and I love you for that. So hope you're all doing well. See you guys next video. Bye, guys.